children. Today we will study adjectives and degrees of comparison. Now, what are adjectives? The words which are used to give more information about a noun or pronoun in a sentence are called adjectives. They are also called describing words. They tell the sizes, shapes, colors and other things about the nouns or pronouns. For example, sari is the favorite dress of Indian women. Neeraj is an intelligent boy. In these sentences, favorite and intelligent modify the nouns. So they are adjectives. We will now look at the different kinds of adjectives. There are 8 kinds of adjectives and they are adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity, adjectives of number, demonstrative adjectives, distributive adjectives, interrogative adjectives, possessive adjectives and proper adjectives. Let us begin with the adjectives of quality. It denotes the quality of the noun or pronoun. For example, Taj Mahal is one of the amazing monuments of the world. It is the tallest building of the city. Sania Mirza, the tennis player, is very beautiful. Akbar was a great emperor. Now, the above words, amazing, tallest, beautiful and great, describe the qualities of noun. So, all these are adjectives of quality and it is known by questioning how. Now, let us look at the adjectives of quantity. Adjectives that refer to the quantity of things, places or people are called adjectives of quantity. Some, many, much, few are few examples of adjectives of quality. As in these examples, he has many good friends. She did not eat any rice. She has little intelligence. He showed much patience. She lost all her wealth. She had enough money. Now, in these sentences, the adjectives many, any, little, much, all and enough describe the quantity of a thing. They answer the question how much. Now we will study adjectives of number. Adjectives that quantify countable nouns are called adjectives of number. Adjectives of number answer the question how many. For example, Sunday is the first day of the week. There are several mistakes in your exercise. It is further divided into 2 parts and they are definite number of adjective. It shows the exact number or order. For example, 1, 2, 3, etc. Then indefinite number of adjective. It does not show the exact number or order. For example, several, many, certain, few, all, any, etc. Now let us look at the demonstrative adjectives. Adjectives that point at the persons, places or things using words like this or that, these or those are called demonstrative adjectives. For example, these mangoes are delicious. I hate such things. That girl is courageous. She lives in this city. Those thieves must be punished. In these sentences, the adjectives these, such, that, this and those are demonstrative adjectives. Let us now study distributive adjectives. The adjectives which distribute the person or persons or things are called distributive adjectives. Each, either, neither, every are all examples of distributive adjectives. For example, neither boy is likely to pass. Either side of the road was full of trees. Each boy must take his turn. So, in these sentences, the adjectives neither, either and each denote one thing or person of some particular category. Now, we need to keep in mind that each, every, either, neither are used in the singular noun, and these will also follow singular verb. Now, let us look at interrogative adjectives. Adjectives that are used to ask questions are called interrogative adjectives. For example, whose book is this? Which color do you like? What food have you never eaten? Now, in these sentences, whose, which and what are interrogative adjectives. Now, what are possessive adjectives? Adjectives which show possession or ownership are called possessive adjectives. For example, it is my laptop. Her bicycle was new. His new dress is very pretty. Your books are in your bag. Now, in these sentences, the words my, her, his and your has possession over the nouns which have come just after them. So, these words are possessive adjectives. Let us now look at the attributive and predicative use of adjectives. If we look at the following examples, she has a sweet voice. Here we see the attributive use. Her voice is sweet. Here we look at the predicative use. It is a big animal. Attributive use. The animal is big. Predicative use. We need to keep in mind, if the adjective is used before an antecedent or a noun, it is called attributive use of adjective. And if the adjective is used after an antecedent or a noun, it is called predicative use of adjectives. Now, the question arises, what are proper adjectives? Adjectives which are made from proper nouns, especially from names of places and persons, are proper adjectives. For example, Chinese food is famous all over the world. Indian tea is exported to various countries. The Canadian Prime Minister is visiting India tomorrow. In these sentences, the colored words are formed from proper nouns. So, these adjectives are called proper adjectives. Let us now study kinds of degree of comparison. There are three kinds of degree of comparison, and they are positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. For example, Samiksha is an intelligent girl. We see the positive degree. Riya is more intelligent than Samiksha. Here we see the comparative degree. Samaira is the most intelligent girl in the class. This is an example of the superlative degree. Now, in the first sentence, the adjective intelligent is used for Samiksha. In second one, the adjective more intelligent is used to compare the intelligence of Samiksha and Riya. In the third sentence, the adjective most intelligent is used to compare the intelligence of Samaira among all class. So, keep in mind, in comparative degree, only two things can be compared and the word than is used. In superlative degree, more than two things are compared and the word the is used before superlative degree. Now let us study the formation of comparative degree and superlative degree. Comparative degrees and superlative degrees are made by using the following methods. Rule 1. By adding ER and EST to the positive degree. So we have the adjective cheap in the positive degree. In comparative it becomes cheaper and in superlative it becomes cheapest. Similarly, fast becomes faster and fastest. Kind becomes kinder and kindest. Long becomes longer and longest. Poor becomes poorer and poorest. Rich becomes richer and richest. Short becomes shorter and shortest. Tall becomes taller and tallest. Thick becomes thicker and thickest. Young becomes younger and youngest. In Rule 2, when the positive degree ends with Y and is preceded by a consonant, the Y is changed into I before adding ER and EST to the positive degrees. So dry becomes drier and driest. Easy becomes easier and easiest. Holy becomes holier and holiest. Lovely becomes lovelier and loveliest. Pretty becomes prettier and prettiest. Wealthy becomes wealthier and wealthiest. Rule 3 states, when the positive degree ends with E, R and ST is added to the positive degree. So able becomes abler and ablest. Brave becomes braver and bravest. Large becomes larger and largest. Noble becomes nobler and noblest. Safe becomes safer and safest. Wise becomes wiser and wisest. And white becomes whiter and whitest. Rule 4 states, when the positive degree ends with a consonant preceded by a short vowel, the consonant is doubled before adding ER and EST to the positive degree. For example, big changes to bigger and biggest. Fat changes to fatter and fattest. Hot changes to hotter and hottest. Red changes to redder and reddest. Sad changes to sadder and saddest. Thin changes to thinner and thinnest. And small changes to smaller and smallest. Now Rule 5 states, no particular rule is used for some words. Comparative and superlative degrees are made by using a new word. For example, bad changes to worse and worst. Far changes to farther and farthest. For changes to former, foremost. Good changes to better and best. Late changes to latter and last. Little changes to less and least. Many changes to more and most. And much changes to more and must. Rule 6 states, by using prefix more and most or less and least to the positive degree. For example, beautiful changes to more beautiful and most beautiful. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Courageous, more courageous, most courageous. Famous, more famous, most famous. Honest, more honest, most honest. Learned, more learned, most learned. Ordinary, more ordinary, most ordinary. Popular, more popular, most popular. Useful, more useful, most useful. Beautiful, less beautiful, least beautiful. Delicious, less delicious, least delicious. Intelligent, less intelligent, least intelligent. Expensive, less expensive, least expensive. Kind, less kind, least kind. Ordinary, less ordinary, and least ordinary. Let us now look at the correct use of some adjectives. So we will begin with farther and further. Farther is used for distance, whereas further is used in the sense of additional action or information. For example, Kolkata is farther from Mumbai than that from Delhi. The civil service examination is postponed until further order. His house is farther than that of mine from office. See the notice board for further instructions. Let us now look at near and next. Near is used for distance and next is used for order. For example, Firoz lives near the Shiv temple. She was next to be called for the interview. Ravi's result was not even near Anand. Daksh sits next to me in the class. Now we will look at another, other, and any other. Another is used with singular noun. For example, the managing committee has selected another candidate. Fix the appointment on another day. Other is used with both singular and plural nouns, as in these examples. They helped other people who were absent. That pen is okay, I like the other one. Any other. Any other is used in addition to the person or thing just mentioned. It can be used with both singular and plural nouns. For example, do you know any other person in the locality? You can try with any other candidate. Let us now look at fewer and less. Fewer and less sometimes overlap each other in usage. Fewer is preferred when the reference is to numbers or to entitle considered as individuals which can be counted or listed. For example, fewer workers are present today. You have fewer options left in this matter. Less is preferred when the reference is to collective quantities or to something abstract. For example, he has scored less marks in English. There is less opportunity in this area. There is a tendency for less to be used in place of fewer, especially when there is an implicit contrast with more. Now we need to keep in mind, do not use a few or fewer in the expression of measurement. For example, you must not score less than 90 marks in the annual examination. The length of our classroom is less than 10 meters. Here, we can't use a few or fewer. Less is the appropriate one to be used.